Hey guys, it's Janai. Today I am going to do a two-part series of my 2017 Project Life album. This is a combination of pocket, page, and 12 by 12. I should mention that a lot of my 12 by 12 completed layouts are not in here for the sheer fact that I need to get another album that matches so that I can fit them, because as you can see, it's quite stuffed. I hope that I'm getting everything in frame when I do this flip through. So anyways, let's get right into it. This is like a small, I kind of chopped it because I wanted to document the snowfall that we actually got. And we had a snowy Christmas when we woke up. Well, it would have been December 2016. This is January 2017. We should not get snow where I live. I live in a tropical rainforest among the redwood trees, but we got snow up on our mountains, so my daughter absolutely loved it. Anyways, let's get started. I used a little bit of the snow and cocoa here. Again, snow and cocoa. I use a lot of doilies. This is an Echo Park collection that I used. It's very simple. I just wanted the main focus to be on her looking up after she had eaten snow. And then this is a scrapbook layout that I did to document my first ever scrapbook crop that I went to. At this point, I had only made a mini album, but so I went there, completed the mini album, and then towards the end of 2017, I really did start scrapbooking. And like I said, so I am playing catch up. I just finished 2017 at the end of December. I plan to start on 2018. I actually just got my photos today. So anyways, nevertheless, I use a lot of tags, and I do things like this with photos and put embellishments at the top. Don't mind my dogs. My puppy is chasing my other dog. But I do add like tabs and things like that for photos or journaling. I do a lot of tags for my journaling because, as you can see, my handwriting is not good. This collection with all of the purple, the paper, and the embellishments, my friend Kitty Kate sent to me. And I used it because there's a lot of purple in the photos. So moving on to February, I just used some odds and end pieces. Like I mentioned, I use a lot of doilies. I used some crepe paper here. Looks like some Maggie Holmes on this one. This is a little Valentine type thing that my daughter created. She had just turned 2 years old basically when she made this, and she loves to craft with me. That is actually it for February. Then we go on to March, and again, I'm just layering. I use a lot of mini alphas to create my own sentiments, like right here of my daughter riding her tricycle. It says "Go baby go." This again in March, we got snow on March 1st, which is crazy. Here I layered some crepe paper stuff. This is Maggie Holmes. These are just random photos. A lot of this is a mixture, a heavy mixture of many collections, because my dear friend Deb sent me a ton of stuff. I mean a ton. And pretty much every Project Life card you see, she sent to me. So here I have a glassine bag. Here I made a little vellum pocket, and I added a tag. It looks like the twine has come off. There is the vellum bag that I used, and this has like our movie tickets in it from when we took our daughter to see Beauty and the Beast. This was her first movie that she saw, and she loved it. And then over here I just have random photos. My sweet girl is painting, napping, loving on our dogs, playing with friends. And then moving on, again, very simple on this part just because it's very photo heavy. Here is the start of April, and she's decorating eggs, and this is a Tim Holtz die, and it's so that you can slip photos in and out. It's pretty cool. My pen pal actually sent it to me. So I just have photos documented with her grandparents. These are my parents, and of course she's outside playing naked. And then here's our egg hunt. Our community does like a community egg hunt, and my daughter won the golden egg, so she got like a grand prize, and she was stoked about that. And then moving on here, these are the 4x4 pockets, which I really enjoy using because they give you a little bit more space in the 3x4, but it's not quite as long as the 4x6, so I don't feel like I have to over embellish so that there isn't a ton of blank space. And I just added a little bit here and there. There's like a clear overlay here, and it says, I love you everywhere and anywhere, inside and out, top to bottom, and bottom to top, which is the truth. And then on this page, there's just lots of photos of her playing outside and things like that. And then here I have clipped, oops, sorry. I didn't mean to bonk the camera. Anyways, here I have clipped some tags, and then again, a glassine bag back here. And it's probably documenting the fact that my kiddo loves to pee outside. We do live on a couple acres and we don't have neighbors, so nobody can see her do this. And then here, this is when I kind of started to do more of flat pocket page, because my albums get really, really thick very quickly. And then here is just Easter crafting with my kiddo. She decorated an egg from Target right here, and she made her own banner. I let her stick everything on herself, and then we hung it. At 2 years old, this kid is seriously impressive. And then I cut my husband's hair. That was a major fail. In this bag, I talk about taking my kiddo to the zoo. She absolutely loved the otters. It swam up to the glass, and she was like freaking out. And then here's just some random photos. She gets paycheck money for doing chores. Yes, at this time, my 2-year-old had chores. So she took her paycheck money and she went and bought some toys. And then over here, there's just photos of her and, you know, things like that. I didn't embellish a whole lot on here. This is a Simple Stories collection that I used. I do mix collections. Again, this is Simple Stories. This is from when my husband and daughter started our tomatoes and all of our fruit and vegetables by seed, and they came up and they're planting them. This is my second ever 12 by 12 layout, and honestly, it's a little bit more heavy on the embellishment side than what I really like, but it was my second one, so I keep it. And then this is of when she got her golden egg. You can see the golden egg right there, and she was so excited. So this is from Easter, and I used the Maggie Holmes Flourish on this, and I did add some gesso and things like that, and just layered. I know that there's a lot of glare, and I apologize for that, but unfortunately, I really can't control the glare a whole lot. So this is the start of May, and this is when I start introducing a lot of color that I like to incorporate, which is more of like summertime colors. Although I hate the season, I love the colors. I love the yellow, the pinks, the blues, and the greens, and things like that. So it says May, and then I just have photos of course, my kid and my dog, who has since passed away. And then here, again, I'm using a lot of the Maggie Holmes and crepe paper. I believe that this is from, oh man, what is it called? I have this whole collection. Good Vibes. So yeah, and then here, again, just layering things. I have a tag here with some of the Maggie Holmes trim because I'm using her collection here and mixing crepe paper, where I did journaling. And then I don't which I plan to do. I haven't really added a whole lot of my crafting, my work that I've done for like birthdays, things like this. But I made this tote with vinyl, and I cut it on my Cricut for my friend. And then I made this tank top for myself. And I used, like I mentioned, the Maggie Holmes collection. And I actually did a photo of myself, and as moms, I'm sure everybody could relate that 90% of the photos that we take are of our children or child. That's, well, it is for me in my case. But I was told by a very good friend who's been scrapbooking for a very long time to include myself. So that's what I did. Looking back, this is crazy because my hair was really short here. Again, here's that tag, and I just did layering. And then on this side is when we went to the circus for the first time. It came to a town that's like 30 minutes away from us. And so we went to that. I don't have photos of the inside because it was so dark. And then here, this is Mother's Day. After my husband and my daughter and I spent it together, my husband had to go to work. And so I went down to my parents' house and took photos. Yeah, so these are just, like it says, memorable Mama's Day. And I did use, this is from the Maggie Holmes Bloom collection. And then, like I said, I mix collections. This is a 12 by 12 layout of my mom and I. Like I mentioned, she's my best friend, my rock, my everything. I love her. I hope to share the same relationship with my daughter that I have with my mom. This is probably one of my favorite layouts that I've done, and I used the Maggie Holmes confetti collection, and I've just layered a ton. There's paper and a glassine bag and tissue paper, doily, chipboard, and it's very simple. I love that. So there's a tag here that pulls out of the glassine bag where I talk about this photo. And then we move on to June, and this is when I really start busting out like summer collections. My daughter, we enrolled her in daycare 1 day a week on Fridays to socialize her because she is very, very, at this time, was very antisocial. If you weren't her parents or grandma and grandpa, she would cling to our leg and cry. And it did work the 1 day a week, but it was a pain because we drove an hour one way to drop her off and everything else. So we went shopping here to get the albums that I'm actually using now for this year. And then here I just have photos of everything. This one always makes me laugh. And then here I have used, again, Maggie Holmes. This is when I discovered Snapchat. I still don't use it a whole lot, like every now and again. I'm not big on selfies and things like that. Here is a Father's Day gift that I made with my daughter for my husband. There's a toolbox that says, if Daddy can't fix it, nobody can, and a hammer that says, Daddy, I love building memories with you. And as you can see throughout my album, I take a lot of photos of my daughter when she's sleeping. I mean, she's my baby and I love her. Here is kind of like a transformation of my office / craft room. I work from home, so I have a desk for work, and then I have the rest of the room is my craft stuff. But I used to have an armoire, and as you can see, we drug everything out because I got a new desk and some shelves and things like that. And in this photo, you can see it here. That's actually a sewing cabinet that belonged to my great-grandma. It's from like the 20s, and I've kept it all these years. I'd like to get the sewing machine fixed one of these days. Again, I just am using random things. This came from packaging from somebody that I swapped with. Her name is Randy. And I took it off the packaging and I incorporated it into my scrapbook album, which you will find I do frequently. If somebody sends me something, a lot of times I will document the photos and, you know, put some of the embellishments if it's on packaging in here. Anyways, I'm rambling. So to continue on, just some journaling cards and things like that. And this is July. So this collection, again, I've already said this, mentioned her, is from Kate. She sent me this summer collection and I absolutely loved it. So I'm using it here for the start of July and things like that. This is for 4th of July. We had a barbecue at the river and my daughter swam and things like that. Again, 4th of July. This is a walk that we did. I live among the redwood trees in very, very, very northern California. And we have some absolutely amazing hiking places. So my mom and I, we went hiking and things like that. This is where we, I actually have, this one should be here. But nonetheless, my husband's, I should cover her, grandma got really sick and he's a grandma's boy. So we just hopped in our truck and drove to Vegas, which took 16 hours. So I have a lot of photos of my daughter and his side of the family. This was the first time she met her great grandma. My husband celebrated his 30th birthday while we were there. And then my grandma lives in Boulder City, which is outside of Las Vegas, and we surprised her. We just showed up at her door, and then here I have like a little goodie bag where I explain the photos. So these are all photos from that day. And then this sleeve, now that I'm thinking about it, actually needs to go before our Vegas trip, but this is basically of my kiddo playing outside, her sleeping, things like that. There's lots of bright colors. I used an Echo Park collection for this, for most of this too. Another goodie bag here, looks like the tag fell down. My kid painting. And then this was something I had to document. My daughter here is only 2 years old, and the first thing she said was, and I put it on Facebook, was the first thing Alicia said this morning was, "Mama, bye-bye, shop, shop, Target. I guess my baby girl likes shopping as much as I do," which is the truth. This kid loves Target. Anyways, moving on, I did this 12 by 12 scrapbook layout of my daughter and our dog. And then here we had family photos. I have yet to scrapbook the actual family photo, but this is her. She was very serious because she didn't know the photographer, and like I mentioned, she is very shy. I use the Maggie Holmes Willow Lane collection for this. And then this is an embellishment that my friend sent to me that I have been hoarding for a very, very, very long time, and I thought I'm going to put it on a page, and it worked out good there. So anyways, this is the first part of my 2017 Project Life / 12 by 12 album. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, or want to know where I got something, leave a comment down below. I will answer your guys' questions. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye!